From the CX on the campus of the college, coverage in their final regular season at the Staten Senior. Good afternoon once again, everybody. They've already learned. Before that, they want to exit.
He started off so strong, winning 8 of their themselves in a situation where games, and they haven't been able to score a goal in the last 3 games. They've only lost. Afternoon, Dave. The first thing
they were just on fire, but since a couple of overtime ties. Their last win was back on October 4th. Seems like forever ago against Hunter College. And good competitive exit with a W. It should make a lot
possible. A game, as you mentioned, will be this Wednesday night at Randall's Island. Opportunities in every single game. Get a win under your belt and, go into the tournament with momentum. And, Dave, the one thing we know about the CUNYAC tournament is anybody can beat anybody in it. And the Dolphins going into this tournament really have just as good a chance to win it as anybody. The only difference being they're going to have to go on the road and they're going to have to play that extra game.
Absolutely. And, today is senior day, Mike, but only one senior in the starting lineup. So, even though the Dolphins want to end the regular season on a good note, they're going to be very tempered here in this final game. This is their last chance to give anybody significant rest before really a grueling, what they hope is a grueling postseason, because they'd be playing 3 games in a little over a week. But, a lot of the familiar faces in the starting lineup will not start today. No Adrian Kosovic in the starting lineup. No Vasil Fedorci in the starting lineup. No Danny Nika in the starting lineup. Only Logan Tassin, a first-year senior, is in the starting lineup. And I'm sure the Dolphins might mix some of their upperclassmen in for minutes at a time. And Oscar Torres, freshman goalkeeper, gets the start as well. So a very mixed-up lineup today. Perhaps John Tardy looking for that offensive spark out of this young group that he puts on the field this afternoon. But again, we should see a modified kind of a system here in this final regular season game.
Yeah, absolutely, Dave. And, as much as you want to get some momentum back and try to get on the scoreboard and get a win, really the most important thing for this team is the CUNYAC tournament. It's what it's always been. They've been the focus of this team the entire season long, to win the CUNYAC championship. And, like we said, they're going to have to go through 3 games to do it. And, what the coaching staff is going to do is everything today is with an eye to maximize their chances of winning the tournament, which begins this Wednesday.
And it's a late October afternoon, Mike. It surely doesn't feel that way. It's about, 70 degrees out here. There's a nice little breeze going on. Definitely very pleasant, beautiful for soccer. Maybe a little bit on the hotter side on the pitch itself. We're in the shade, obviously. But for the players themselves, maybe a tinge on the warmer side. So obviously that'll be calculated in how both teams stack up in this one. Mike, before we throw it to break and then come back for senior festivities in the starting lineup, let's talk about the Dolphins' opponents today. Arcadia University. Their record is a little bit deceptive because they're 8-4-2, but they play some really tough competition. They've played a couple of high nationally ranked teams this season, and they're a very defensive side, Mike. 14 games this year. They've only allowed 16 goals, and that's against 2 or 3 really heavy opponents. I believe Messiah put up 4 goals against them. Take that out of the way, and this is a team that's averaging less than a goal allowed per game. A defensive side, Dolphins were able to score 2 early on them last year, and were able to take a 2-1 victory. But all things considered, this is a very formidable and tough late-season opponent for the Dolphins.
Yeah, no doubt, Dave. They're a very deep team, a lot of players, and, we were joking a little bit before the game started if we were looking at a football roster or not, just by the number of players on the team. And, again, for Arcadia, it's not their last game, but it's their next to last game, and, they're getting ready for the tournament as well. And, you mentioned they the 4-0 loss to Messiah, they also played number 11 Lycoming and played them to a 2-0 defeat, which is a very good result. And, they have some very good wins on their record. And, 8-4-2 is a good record, Dave, in any conference. And, like you mentioned, this should be a very formidable opponent for the Dolphins. And, Dave, we've mentioned it a few times already, but this is a Dolphin team that has really been struggling to score goals. And, if the Dolphins are going to come out on top this afternoon, they're going to have to stop Ryan Hammer. Hammer leading the team with 6 goals and 6 assists. So not only does he put it back in the back of the net, but he's a creative player as well. And, he's the kind of player that the Dolphins are going to have to keep an eye on and stop here this afternoon.
Yeah, and Arcadia is going to go in net from Colin White, who will make the start. He's a departure from the usual, as Chris Watson has gotten every single start coming into this game as well. So a little bit of a different look from Arcadia as well. Mike, what we will do is step aside. When we come back, we'll pause for our anthem. When we come back, we'll give you our starters, and we'll take in the senior presentations as well. A lot to say about the group of 5 that we have on hand today. So we're just moments away from opening kickoff between CSI and Arcadia. You're watching CSI Men's Soccer, and we'll return after this on CSI Sportsnet.
Alvin and the Chipmunks want to remind you, bacteria can hide in food and make you ill.
Wow.
But you can keep bacteria from ruining your day with 4 simple steps. Clean.
I'm waiting for the rinse cycle.
Separate. Cook.
Fire in the hole!
And chill.
We chipmunks are notoriously tidy.
Check your steps. The road chip to food safety starts at foodsafety.gov.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Hart, what's going on? I'm leaving. Why? What did I do? Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit. Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just, please, don't leave. Okay, but remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
As an American, it's hard to hear that we have a serious hunger issue in our country. And as a parent, it's even harder to hear that 1 in 5 of our kids struggles with hunger, especially when billions of pounds of good food are wasted every year. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide billions of meals to families in need right in your community. Visit feedingamerica.org to support Feeding America and your local food bank. Together we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's not something you buy
or something you take.
In fact, there's only one way to get it.
It has to be given to you, freely.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape. Consent.
If you don't get it, you don't get it.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
One-on-One is an independently owned and operated physical therapy center since 1999.
One-on-One has multiple offices located in Staten Island and in Brooklyn.
One-on-One has been getting people back to living pain-free for almost 14 years.
The number one goal of One-on-One is to provide quality health care for our community and continue to strive to be the best in our field.
One-on-One physical therapy gets our clients back to work, back to play, and back to function as soon as possible. We help them reclaim their life.
So who's going to do what?
I'll pack the dead batteries.
Great.
I'll only put what I don't need into a duffel bag.
Perfect. That's totally unhelpful.
No problem.
Meanwhile, I will try to comfort everyone by speaking in a calm voice. And who is going to handle supplies?
I can forget to do a list for us.
Thanks, pal.
We couldn't be any less prepared. I'm proud of you guys.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Welcome back here to the CSI Soccer Complex, where the senior festivities have concluded, Mike, and of course the starters are yet to be introduced as well. But Mike, we should pause and mention the 5 seniors for the Dolphins. A good cross-section of talent. You got Logan Tassin, who's here for only a single season. Javier Castro coming off the bench in moments at a time. You also had Danny Nika and Vasil Fedorci, 4-year seniors, and of course the infusion of second-year senior Adrian Kosovic, who came from Division I St. Francis. So just a good cross-section of talent everywhere appearing on the field. Only one in the starting lineup tonight, but it was really nice to see them honored.
Yeah, Dave, we've sat through a lot of senior days together, and, it's just it never ceases to amaze how quickly the 4 years go. And, I'm sure if we went over and talked to Danny or Vasil right now, they would just say, wow, I can't believe it's been 4 years already.
Yeah, definitely. It does go by fast. We've been with them every step of the way. It's been so good to see them honored, obviously, and to have their day. Of course, the starting lineups are being introduced at this time. Mike, why don't we take a look at them as well?
Yeah, and first for Arcadia, it'll be Colin White in goal, making his first start of the season. The remainder of the starting lineup here for Arcadia this afternoon: leading scorer Ryan Hammer, number 9, number 11 Shade Foreman, number 13 Devin Rosser, number 17 Tyler Isle, number 18 Bradley McKim, number 22 Cameron Bush, number 27 R.J. White, number 31 Duncan O'Connor, number 32 Manny Camacho, and number 34 Christian Bruno. For the College of Staten Island, Oscar Torres getting a rare start and goal for CSI here this afternoon. The remainder of the starting lineup, as Dave mentioned earlier, a little bit different than the normal starting lineup. Joel Morales will make the start. Number 5, number 8, Chris Lee back in the starting lineup for a start here this afternoon. Number 14, Jonathan Villamar. Number 15, Joe Boello, who's been very strong for the Dolphins here in his first year. Number 17, Wilson Quintero. Number 19, Brenly Salas. It was Salas who actually scored the last goal for the Dolphins, the third goal in that 3-1 win against Hunter College, going way back 4 games. Number 20, Alex Sosa. Number 22, Logan Tassin. Number 24, Edward Ugiles. And number 27, Miguel Morales. So we have the starting lineups here for this afternoon, Dave. A beautiful afternoon and the final regular season game for the Dolphins here in 2017.
Absolutely, and we will pause for just a few moments here as we get set for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll break this one down.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome. I think we're breathtaking. And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities.
Chess really isn't my thing.
I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Welcome back here to the CSI Soccer Complex. We are just moments away from Staten Island against Arcadia in the season finale for the CSI Dolphins. Next to last game for Arcadia. Mike, the two teams are in their respective huddles. We'll see some lineup shuffling from both teams, as you mentioned, with the starting lineups. What are both coaches telling their teams?
Well, you know, both teams want to go into their postseason tournaments with momentum, and you want to temper that desire with the fact that you know you want to be at your best for the postseason tournament. So the coaches are going to coach with that in mind. You know, Dave, for the Dolphins, you got to want to see if they could get on the board. And, you know, Dave, it's been the same story for the Dolphins all year long. They get a lot of good opportunities, but they really struggle to get the ball on the net. So that's something the Dolphins are going to look to do here this afternoon against a very strong Arcadia team. So Dolphins need to come out and play a very strong game here this afternoon because, you know, you could be sure that Arcadia is going to come out looking to play a big game today. You know, these teams don't get to play that many games. For the Dolphins, it's game number 17. For Arcadia, it's number 15. So, you know, you want to come out and play your best in every one of these games. So it really looking forward to a good non-conference game here this afternoon.
Yeah, and Mike, you know, we were vexed during the break about the goalkeeping situation for Arcadia because we have confirmed it is Colin White in goal, but really Chris Watson has been the only player with goalkeeping statistics for Arcadia all year, and Chris Watson is not even on Arcadia's roster coming into today's game. So it's kind of odd to see that type of a shakeup. But in all, you know, in any event, Colin White is your starter in goal, at least by our measure. That's what the official statistics have as their starter, and his counterpart will be Oscar Torres. So we don't have any stats on Colin White in goal, but for Oscar Torres, he's only played in one game. He's given up one goal. He had 4 saves in that game, and he has a win. So this is only his second action of the entire season. He's only played 90 minutes, and he hasn't started in an absolute age. So we'll see how he's tested in a game that we fully expect to see both goalkeepers busy here today. The Dolphins will go from right to left on your screen, Arcadia from left to right, and we're just about set to go.
And Torres playing with some pressure on him, Dave, as we've mentioned, the Dolphins' goal-scoring struggles so far this afternoon.
So Arcadia does control on the far side of the field. They do get it to the positive half of the field and do control there. We'll mention a couple of the new faces in CSI's lineup. Chris Lee, who normally comes off the bench, is starting. Jonathan Villamar is in the starting lineup. Joe Balella, who usually comes in as a reserve, he's on. Brenny Salas, Alex Sosa, normally reserves. Edwin Erguiles, Logan Tassin. So a lot of new faces cracking that starting lineup for the Dolphins here on their final game of the season, as Mike mentioned before we kicked off. Dolphins with their first sustained possession. It was Tassin turning around and putting it right into the legs of a Knights defender, and CSI will have the first throw in here right at the midfield stripe. Lee with a quick touch, trying to work it down that right sideline, but Arcadia is there, and now they control moving up the pitch. Looks like Arcadia, Mike, set on advancing the ball over midfield with the ball at their feet. We've seen certain teams use, of course, the long ball, shifting from side to side, and teams that come straight up, and it looks like Arcadia is adopting that philosophy.
Yeah, and they're pressing the Dolphin players right at the point of touch, so Dolphins going to have to be prepared to move the ball quickly here this afternoon.
Sending it down was Rosser down the right sideline, looking in the direction of Foreman. Foreman working against the CSI defense, and we see our first action from Torres as he has to come out of the goal mouth to intercept that would-be cross.
Yeah, and that was a nice cross against two Dolphin defenders. Nice play there by Torres.
Absolutely, and this is Lee now working down the near sideline, looking to feed Tassin, who's on his horse, but it is spilled out of play by Cameron Bush. Dolphins will have a throw-in on their plus side of the field.
Yeah, and Logan Tassin, a player that hasn't scored a goal in a while, Dave, who showed so much flash early in the season. I know that's one player that Coach Tardy would like to get going offensively for the tournament.
Sosa received the throw-in originally. Now the Dolphins scrambling for it. Getting back to it was Lee. To a sprawling Tassin, and spilling it immediately out of bounds was Arcadia. Dolphins will do it again, this time with Erguiles getting set for the throw-in, looking for Tassin. Tassin off his body into the box. Tassin one-on-one, skips one in on goal, and the play made by Colin White.
Yeah, and that's the kind of play the Dolphins looking for out of Tassin. That time he was able to break right in on goal. Unfortunately, White able to come out and make a nice play on it, so a good start for Logan here on Senior Day.
Not credited with a shot on that play, though, Mike. It looked like it might have skipped off of Tassin right into the arms of White either way. A nice play by White to converge on it before Tassin can get to it, as we have a 50-50 opportunity in the middle of the field. Arcadia controls originally, but it spilled over to Sosa. Sosa now getting it on the plus side of the field to Tassin. Far side of the field, and now putting it all the way across the field for Lee, the intended receiver down the side, but he is shaded off the ball by Rosser, and this will be a goal kick after all. Nice job by Brenny Salas to get that one through the middle of the field onto the waiting foot of Lee, as we have a replay of that. This was the original play, Mike, where Tassin shed one of the defenders, as we were able to get that one near goal.
Yeah, nice offensive move that time by Tassin. Dolphins with another breakthrough down in the Arcadia zone, but Arcadia now with the free kick.
And here's one that gets away from the defensive line all the way into the 18-yard box, but Torres is there right at the top. Shade Foreman was bearing down on him as we are 4 minutes in. Eventful first half so far. Here we have Duncan O'Connor, who plays it off the CSI defense, and Arcadia will. CSI volleyball team won the first of their two matches this afternoon, 3-0. So big win there for Larry Ng and the women's volleyball team. Mike, we will probably after halftime here, we'll start getting updates on the women's soccer team, which is playing for the CUNY regular season championship against John Jay College. We'll get some updates there as well.
Yeah, John Jay able to beat Lehman earlier in the week to remain tied with the Dolphins.
R.J. White with a cross right in front of the goal mouth, and it's off of, looked like number 31, Shade Foreman, who got his right foot on it, but spilled it well out of play. Dolphins able to avoid danger that time, as Torres will spot things up from the corner of his goal box.
Yeah, Dave, danger's the right word on that play. That was a huge goal-scoring opportunity for Arcadia. Fortunately for the Dolphins, the ball goes over the top.
The linesman and the head referee got together for a little bit of a conference there, and now the linesman talking to a couple of the fans behind the 50-yard line as the clock was stopped on all that, as we see the replay there, as that one just going wide. A nice cross by White on the play. And more 50-50 balls in the midfield there. Bolella had a touch on it, plays it back to Quintero. Happy birthday to Wilson Quintero today. Like to celebrate with a win, as that time he overran that one, and here comes R.J. White on a spirited run. Right side of the field, Miguel Morales trailing. It's White putting one through the goal box, and it just went through everybody, but Arcadia continues to control. Top of the 18 now. There's a shot directly in. A beautiful shot by Shade Foreman, number 11, as he received the scramble at the top of the box, and 5 minutes and 24 seconds into this one, it's Arcadia with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Dave, the Dolphins were very fortunate they didn't score the last time that Arcadia crossed the ball. This time the ball goes into Shade Foreman, and he took it right in prime scoring position. No real chance there for Torres as Foreman picks up his third goal of the year and gives Arcadia a 1-0 lead just into the 6th minute.
And, Mike, that all started with a turnover right here in front of us at midfield, and that sprung number 27, R.J. White, to put the original cross through the goal box, and there to kind of clean things up at the end of that whole flurry was Foreman. He had a good opportunity to kind of tee it up and run into the shot. I'm sure we'll get a replay of it soon, and it was just a perfectly placed ball. Obviously, no shot for Oscar Torres in goal.
Yeah, again, you can't let a player have that much space in front, and basically the ball rolled on his foot, Dave, and he had all the time in the world to tee it up and drill it into the back of the net, and he made no mistake about it. And, Arcadia has been very dangerous here in the early going.
And so CSI, with a lot of their normal starters on the bench in this final game, their final opportunity to rest, have fallen behind 1-0 here in the early stages. We have an offside called against Arcadia. And Mike, we go back to that replay. It all starts with that cross, and Arcadia just has the right jersey color there at the right time. There's the scramble right at the top, and you see Foreman was there the whole time right at the top of the box and buries it. No chance for Torres on the play.
Yeah, and Dave, and you look at the Dolphins defensively on that play. There were 5 guys back where the ball was, back toward the goal line. And when the ball came out to Foreman, there was nobody near him, as the Dolphins didn't do a good job of finding their responsibilities on the play.
And there is one that's just put towards the side of goal by Tassin. He just missed it there, a off-angle shot. And Dolphins trying to turn defense into offense quickly there. But, again, Mike, when you look at a team like Arcadia, with the exception of the 6 goals that they allowed to 2 nationally ranked teams this year, they've only allowed 10 in their other 12 games. So this is a team that is very stingy defensively. And if you're the Dolphins, you got to think you have to hold the Knights to just a single goal and try to overtake them, 1-1 or 2-1 after the end of regulation.
Yeah, and Logan Tassin's had 2 opportunities here this afternoon, Dave, and you mentioned how stingy Arcadia is with goals. You can't miss those opportunities.
And here's another one, this time to the left of goal, trying to put one through the goal box, and Torres has to come out and make a play on a would-be cross. Looked like the intended receiver was once again Foreman on the play. The Dolphins doing a good job to scramble back and interrupt the play.
And again, the Dolphins need to do a little bit better, Dave, finding their responsibilities in the center of the penalty area and making sure that they mark up a man-on-man and not find themselves trapped and looking at the ball.
Yeah, and the 2 center backs for the Dolphins do remain in. Quintero and Morales, they've been there all season, and they continue to occupy those positions. So they are 2 of the normal starters who are in there, and yet CSI defense has yielded a goal in the 6th minute, so for the rest of the way, they will need to try and equalize here. 36 minutes to go here in the first half. Logan Tassin has been very...
There's been no shortage of offense.
We did not expect the game. We expected this one to yield maybe a couple of runs field for either team, but this has been a great first 10 minutes as Torres tees one up, one down the heart of the field. First that time by Salas. And White will toss one into Eiley.
to break Arcadia through. And the Dolphins playing the ball off to the sideline, but playing there, Dave.
That 6-yard box. Now they come sprawling out as a header immediately to skip one in off the defense. And now Morales is able to send a line drive in at goal. And a nice job there by Colin White. He didn't have to move, Mike, but that one was spinning.
Yeah, that was a nice shot that time by Morales. He got a lot on it, but White able to make the save and, most importantly, hold on to it so he'll get to punt the ball out. And we've seen his leg already. One thing we know about White already, Dave, he can punt the ball.
Absolutely, and Dolphins are able to win that 50-50 ball and send it once again on the plus side of the field. It's Salas controlling. Salas sheds one defender, and that pass a little too strong for Sosa. And Mike, number 19, Brenny Salas, and number 20, Alex Sosa, two freshmen that CSI coaching staff have a lot of expectations for, and they're going to get some pretty big minutes here in this one.
Yeah, and they've played well throughout the season. We mentioned earlier, David Salas, who scored the last goal for the Dolphins. So Dolphins looking for an opportunity and just missed on that pass.
Absolutely, as once again in midfield where the Dolphins have been doing a good job here today, they win another ball as that one goes out. And here is a replay of an earlier opportunity there that Colin White had to come out and punch away, and then the follow-up shot that he makes the play on. But White has been active here in these first 12-plus minutes. He's been good as the offense in front of him, only with the one shot, Mike, but it went into the back of the net. Early goal scored by Shade Foreman in the 6th minute. That's been the difference so far. Arguelles takes control, gets it to Bolela. Dolphins have not won on this side of the field, and they give away another turnover here. Playing with it is McKim. McKim now volleys one to his right, and that one is skied straight up. Off balance was Foreman putting that one into the box, but Arcadia continues to control. One defender shedded as that ball was headed towards out of bounds, but the Dolphins able to keep it in play, but once again giving up, and now an immediate shot batted down by the Dolphins defense. Eiley has it. Trying to swing it up top to Hammer. Hammer putting it in the box. The defense is there to spill it back out. And Arcadia playing it. Will that come out of bounds? Yes, it will.
There was a series of very nice, skillful touches on that last offensive play for Arcadia, Dave. A lot of nice offensive play. They got offensive firepower up in front, and they've given the Dolphins defense some problems here so far in this first half.
Referee wants to talk to the CSI bench, which interrupted that last play going out of bounds. In any event, it's the Dolphins' ball. A little bit of a giveaway that time by Lee, but he's able to collect it back off the foot of White. And Lee is able to play it to the middle of the defense. This is Morales, fakes right, goes left with the dribble, now passes midfield. Morales still with the ball on his feet, looking to go opposite field, looking for Salas. Salas working one-on-one against Bruno. Now they work it in for Sosa. Sosa off the defense and out of play, so the Dolphins will get themselves a corner here.
Nice job that time by Sosa to earn the corner kick for the Dolphins. It'll be their first corner kick of the afternoon, and a big opportunity here for the Dolphins, Dave. The Dolphins have done well with their corners this year.
And they've done really well from this side of the field so far in this game. This is Salas who will take it. A line drive that's able to get headed out by the defense. Arcadia still trying to catch up to it there. It's Bruno. Bruno does have it. Working one-on-one against Sosa. Lost it initially. Is able to get it back. Bruno with teammates calling for him. Gives it away, though, to Lee. Lee plays it backwards to Arguelles. Quintero off the defense. It's a handball as that went off the forearm of R.J. White. Junior midfielder. We're officially 15-plus minutes into this one. Arcadia with a goal by Shade Foreman. The difference here, 1-0. Bolela playing it across the field. Edwin Arguelles. 5'8" freshman plays it up the field to Lee. Lee given some space. Sheds one defender, now sheds two. Gains the box, puts one in towards the corner of goal. But Colin White is able to get there pretty easily. Lee did not get a lot on that shot.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move by Chris Lee to create a little bit of space for himself, but where he put the ball on goal, Dave, it was going to be a tough chance, and White was able to play it. I believe it might have been a little bit outside the post, but it was close.
And the way Chris's body was moving, he probably should have went far post with that. Instead, he kind of went across his body to get it in near post. It didn't work out for him there. You like the thought, but Lee unable to collect on that one as the Dolphins win another ball in the midfield and are able to once again attack on the wing. It's Lee once more. Lee working one-on-one against Rosser. He's able to turn his back towards goal. A back heel towards the corner intended for Tass, and it's spilled out of play by Arcadia. As we're going to have another replay on that last attempt. There's Lee kind of just blowing by two defenders and then putting a weak shot towards the corner, easily handled by White. Looks like we're going to have another corner kick opportunity here for Mike, for CSI Mike.
Yeah, this one from the other side of the field, Dave. So Dolphins looking to even up the game.
I'm assuming it's Lee back there in that corner taking it as we're being shaded out here. Top of the box, both teams scrambling. Arcadia doing well to spill that towards midfield.
The Dolphins crowded the box, but Arcadia able to knock it away.
Camacho originally having it. He wants to work across field. McKim is there. Quintero has to do well to double back and catch up to it. He does. See if he can get out of the corner. Continuing to play with it is CSI, so a nice job on the initial defensive play by Quintero, and now the Dolphins able to control. This is Lee who's been busy. Center of the field, wide open, was Alex Sosa. Sosa switching fields to Salas. Salas giving plenty of room by the Arcadia defense, able to kind of dribble in, and now skips one in on goal, well wide.
Guys, you can't go in until you check in. Check in here first.
So number 37 will come in, Brian Reyes, and number 4, Haroon Abdullahi.
So a couple of substitutions here for Arcadia in the 18th minute. As the Dolphins have done well, Dave, and they put some pressure on Cole and White, but, you know, it's been the story here for the last few games that just looking for a way to break through and get on the scoreboard.
Christian Bruno out, R.J. White out for Arcadia. Two guys have been making long runs up the wings of the field. So Arcadia getting fresh legs in there. We are 26:45 to go. You see the shot count on your screen, 4 each for these two teams. It's been a very spirited first 19 minutes here. As Chris Lee controls, he's been busy, and that one is skipped off to defense and all the way on CSI side of the field. Foreman is given chase on Torres. Torres playing with it a little bit too long, I think, for everybody's taste. Ooh, and going down and getting spilled hard was Abdullahi, but Arcadia continues to control. This has been an area of the field where they've had success, and now finally sent all the way up the field. Tassin controls originally, but he has just black shirts in front of him. Now CSI catching up to the play, and this is Salas. Salas has been able to use his speed well there on that far side. Has the ball taken away from him. Arcadia controls momentarily, but it's back to Bolella. Bolella making a move, and might be our first foul whistled here in this first half. Been a very clean half at that. Sam Hernandez getting set to check in for Arcadia on their next opportunity. He'll be joined by Kyle Savalos. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll have a 35-yard free kick here taken by Joel Morales. And Mike, Joel has scored from here in the past. That one is sent over everybody but out of play, as it'll be a corner kick as it was last touched by Arcadia. And so Chris Lee now doubling over to the corner flag, and he'll get set for another corner opportunity.
Nice job that time by Morales, and forces White to play it out of bounds, giving the Dolphins another chance.
That one's sent to the back post. Bodies flying everywhere. Arcadia able to spill it out. Continuing to control that time, doing a nice job was Camacho. Camacho sending it over to Hammer now. And Arcadia playing back, waiting for their offense to develop. Rosser had a touch. McKim able to control at midfield, looking to take Joel Morales one-on-one, and Morales got in there late and spilled McKim. So senior Bradley McKim is able to get up quickly, and Arcadia recontrols. O'Connor had a touch. Looking to work it east-west now. Arcadia jumps up the field. Balella gets a touch, and he plays it over to Lee. Lee back to Balella, but the pass errant, and that'll be another turnover. CSI defense getting in the way of that pass. Up the middle of the field, and it will be Balella. Balella looking in the middle of the field to Sosa. Sosa given some space, sees the backs of some defenders. This is Salas looking to go east-west. He loses control, and now the ball played back up to Ryan Hammer. Hammer with a lot of field in front of him. Gets interrupted by Morales. Nice play by the freshman, Miguel Morales. He's looking on the corner wing to Salas. Salas working one-on-one against Reyes, and he's taken off the ball. Actually, the flag was up. And we're going to have a foul whistled against the Dolphins.
Yeah, two nice defensive plays in a row by Miguel Morales, one in his defensive zone, one in midfield, and then he matched that up with a beautiful pass down the sideline, but the Dolphins not able to maintain possession, commit the foul. Free kick now for Arcadia.
We've seen a lot of space for all the midfielders in this game to kind of take possession and send it up the field via their legs with possession. Foreman, the goal scorer in the game, plays it backwards to Eiley. They reverse field now, working far side. Once again, Arcadia having difficulty in the midfield, losing possession there, and this is once again Salas. Salas to give and go with Tassin. Salas waiting for bodies to come into the box. Originally spilled out by Camacho, and it will be out of play. Dolphins will have themselves a throw here. Edwin Urguez playing it over to Salas. Salas has one entry pass blocked, a second blocked as well, and Arcadia able to sky it up the field to Foreman. Foreman taken off the ball by Morales. This is Lee now, one touch pass to Balella. Balella shading the defense. That one is last touched by Arcadia, so Balella will have himself a throw. He will yield now to Villamar. So Villamar all the way up from his defensive position, able to throw the ball into Balella, but he is shaded off the ball that time by Rosser. A nice defensive play, sending it up the field. Dolphins able to win it, though, at midfield. Miguel Morales playing it into Joel Morales. And now the long lead-in pass through the middle of the infield is interrupted by Arcadia, and they work it back. And there is a pass too strong for number 13, Devin Rosser. And so the Dolphins will have another deep throw.
Yeah, so the Dolphins have been pressing here over the last couple of minutes, Dave.
They haven't been able to get a clean shot, though, or a clean look at the top of the box. Arcadia is giving the Dolphins space there on the wings, Mike, but they are tightening up right here in this part of the field. Here's Morales, though, and he's able to send one, but it is wide of the box as White sees it go out, and Arcadia will finally get their substitutions in, who've been waiting for a good 5 minutes. And it will be Sam Hernandez and number 5, Kyle Savalos, to check in. Manny Camacho out, and number 22, Cameron Bush, out as well.
Yeah, so the Knights starting to substitute here in this first half. Mentioned earlier, Dave, hot sunny day here on Staten Island.
And we're just about 25 minutes in. The Dolphins have not made any substitutions as of yet, despite giving up an early goal in the 6th minute. Here comes Arcadia the other way with bodies falling. Ryan Hammer. Hammer looking to get through that goal line, and we are going to have a whistle. And looked like the linesman had his flag up, Mike, to signal a foul against the Dolphins, but instead the referee overruled.
The flag, the flag might be up, or it might not be, Dave. But you know, ultimately, it is the referee's call. It was a tough challenge deep inside the penalty area, but the Dolphins get away with it, and Arcadia comes right back.
I thought the Dolphins' defense might have gotten there just a hair late, Mike, but I didn't really see enough to whistle a foul there on that. As we see it again, Mike, here on the screen, we can make a better kind of judgment call here on that. You could see getting in a little late, but it looked like Hammer still had, room to play the ball and just elected to kind of go down there on the upper body contact that he received. A good play on his part, too. He's looking for the foul in that situation, just didn't get it.
Yeah, I think it might have been the linesman that got fooled on that play, Dave, as opposed to the referee.
So we have a whistle here and a foul going against Arcadia. Dolphins coaching staff wants the Dolphins to take their time on that free kick. They finally do. Send it up over the 50, but it's played right back in by Arcadia. And now they come in on a rush. 3 against 2. Here comes Arcadia, sent in. Nice play by Torres. He established good position, took away the angle. Mike made the good save.
Yeah, that was a very dangerous play, obviously, that time for the Knights, and a nice save by Torres.
So here comes CSI the other way, looking to counter. This is Sosa. Sosa able to turn to his right, getting it on that side of the field to Salas. Salas looking to play it through the defense, cannot do so, and Arcadia takes control. Midfield giveaway, however, to Miguel Morales. Miguel Morales gets by one defender, can't get by a second, and now CSI doesn't have numbers in the back. Here comes Arcadia, sprawling tackle, interrupts play for just a few moments, but Arcadia able to play it through, and now we're going to have a whistle on against the Dolphins. This will be Arcadia's free kick, as we'll see a yellow card. I believe it'll be against Joel Morales, Mike?
Yeah, I believe it is, Dave. And, Morales has been playing very physical, aggressive defense here the last few days. And
ladies and gentlemen, the referee has issued a yellow card.
He gets called for the yellow.
And hovering over the ball is number 31, Duncan O'Connor, the freshman midfielder from Pennington, New Jersey. He can put one on goal from here, Mike, but Arcadia now, 4 black jerseys in the box, looking to put a rush up against Torres. And that one is lazily sent in. CSI able to get the original header. The shot blocked right at the top of the box. That was a go from Ryan Hammer. And we'll have some more substitutions coming in for Arcadia. Kuchnicki and Georges Fiore will both come in.
And that was Jonathan Villamar, Dave, that got in front of that shot, made the nice defensive play for the Dolphins to prevent that good opportunity towards goal. And you mentioned Duncan O'Connor's name again, Dave. Very impressive freshman for the Knights.
Long throw-in coming in, and that one placed right on goal, and Torres has to make the play, and immediately flick-on header by Ryan Hammer. Almost got the best of Torres that time, but he was in good position. Mike sprung all the way to his right and made the play as the Dolphins are about to get their first substitution into the game, Mike. And, I was going to say before that shot, as we have another rush up the field, that Arcadia's gotten 6 substitutions in the game, so they almost half of their team is now new on the field. Dolphins have yet to make their first sub, but they will momentarily. That one played up the middle of the pitch. This is Sosa. Alex Sosa working with Brenny Salas on the right side. We've seen that hook up more than once here this afternoon. Tassin with a back heel. Was looking once again for Salas. Couldn't do it. Sending up the field, but Arcadia's threat ends there. The Dolphins go the other way. This is Tassin. Tassin working one-on-one against Savalos, and it will be a foul whistled against Arcadia.
Yeah, that was a good physical play that time by both players.
So we have a replay coming up, Mike, that we'll take a look at. This was off that big throw-in, and of course the immediately flick-on header to the right of Torres. He has to double back and get to that one. Nice job by Torres, who's been busy. Joel Morales will tee this one up for the Dolphins. And again, he has options here, Mike. Could go east-west with this one. Could put it right in front of White in goal. We'll see what he elects to do.
Yeah, and he's been very effective on these free kicks. Dolphins looking for an opportunity to tie the game.
Several Dolphins making a run inside, including Quintero, and this will be a goal kick as that one is spilled out of bounds. We'll have our first substitution for the Dolphins, as getting set to come in will be number 2, Matthew Bessler, junior defender from Staten Island, New York. We haven't seen a lot from him this season, and he will replace Lee. Lee was occupying, of course, that left wing position.
And Bessler, another player, Dave, that got off to a pretty strong start early in the season in a substitute role. And, like you mentioned, really haven't seen a lot of him lately.
This is only his 2nd appearance of the season. That one sent over the 50 by the Arcadia defense. Immediate touch by Fiore, who came into the game moments ago. The play up to Hain, and now Arcadia has numbers. Sifting in and putting one past the defense and through Torres was Haroun Abdullahi as he scores in the 30th minute, and Arcadia is up 2-0.
Yeah, and that time it was a beautiful play that time by the Knights, but a poor defensive play by the Dolphins, Dave. You can't try to go for the steal out by the top of the penalty area and miss the ball, and once that happened, plenty of room for the Knights to come in and get that big second goal. And, Dave, the way the Dolphins have been struggling to score, that's a big second goal.
Yeah, and Abdullahi came in as a reserve player for Arcadia in this half, and he ends up scoring the goal to make it 2-0. And again, when you're playing a defensive team like Arcadia, you don't expect to score a lot of goals, and now the Dolphins will have to come all the way back from down 2-0. And what has been a very offensive game, despite the shot numbers on goal, 4-2 in favor of Arcadia. There's another one that's put into the box. Dolphins get there late, but do get there. Joel Morales was interfered with, and he earns himself a shot. And here's the goal, Mike, as we see the entry pass to a wide-open Abdullahi, and he gets Wilson Quintero, Mike, to kind of get on his heels, have to move from his left to his right.
Yeah, he showed him the inside post as we have another opportunity, and I can't see which player dove and missed the ball for the Dolphins, but once Abdullahi was able to break in on goal, he had a lot of room. He faked to the near post where he was and had a wide open space on the far post and was able to put it in the net. But again, you can't have plays running unimpeded inside your penalty area and expect your goalie to be able to make a save against good offensive talent.
Yeah, and the thing is, Mike, when you have players who are receiving passes in the box and your defense is backpedaling at the time, it makes for disastrous results. And we saw that with Quintero. The minute that pass was put into the box, Quintero was on his heels having to run backwards. And when you're an attacker and you see a defender running backwards in his own box, that's dead meat right there. You have to score most often than not. It's exactly what Arcadia did.
Yeah, and Dolphins find themselves trailing here by a score of 2-0, and they haven't scored in a while, but they've played well defensively here. Dolphins have been exposed a little bit. Arcadia playing very well, but like we mentioned, Dave, there's a lot of talent on this Knights team.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see the playmaking ability from everywhere on the field, whether it's this back line. Arcadia hasn't really done a tremendous amount in the midfield so far in this game, Mike, but they've made the right pass at the right time, and they've been timing their runs well, and they've been getting chances because of it.
Yeah, and you've seen a lot of really good technical skill by the Knights inside on the penalty area, a lot of quick flick-off passes and a lot of creativity, and, they've been giving the Dolphins fits all afternoon. Here they come again.
And this is where the Dolphins have been hurt. These turnovers here, cutting in, making maybe one too many moves was Abdullahi, but he does get it back. Receives it from Hammer. Abdullahi continues to control. Right foot, left foot, but that time he does lose possession. Trying to do a little bit too much was Abdullahi. He had a couple of windows open to take a shot, didn't elect to do so. Arcadia takes control, but Mike, it's been the turnovers for the Dolphins deep in their own territory, which have really hurt them so far.
Yeah, it's the turnovers and the marking in the penalty area that's hurt the Dolphins here so far through this first half.
Yep, and, to the Dolphins, playing to the score a little bit, they are going with a lot of reserves in their starting lineup. Out of the starting lineup, Vasil Fedorci, a senior, Danny Nika, senior, not in the lineup. Adrian Kosovic has not appeared, both as a starter or a reserve so far. So the Dolphins very shorthanded on purpose.
There you go, I got it.
Yeah, and Dave, you got to like what the Dolphins have done offensively here today. They've created chances, they've gotten shots, they've moved the ball across the field very well, passed inside the box pretty well, just not able to get those finishing touches. But I'm sure the coaching staff will want to tighten up a little bit on some of the things they've seen defensively here so far.
Yeah, and the Dolphins are getting set to bring in some more reserve players here with just over 11 minutes to go in this first half. Arcadia will do the same on the next possibility or opportunity to substitute. Miguel Morales is going to get called for a foul here in the midfield. Dolphins getting set to put in 3 reserves, and Arcadia getting set to put a substitution in as well.
Yeah, that foul taking place right in front of the referee. Easy call.
That one looking to be sent over top of the defense. Getting to it first was Arcadia. Now scrambling with it. Once again, top of the box. Ball exchanging hands a number of times. Last touch by Marino. But it spills all the way over to the sideline, and Bessler gets a touch. Bessler sending it up. It's intercepted. And once again, this time played by Kuchnicki. Kuchnicki looking to get past Balella. Did initially, but the CSI defense able to bail out Balella there. Joel Morales with a touch pass over to Bessler. Bessler signaling to the sideline. He gets it over to Tassin. Tassin with a heavy first touch, but it's spilled out of bounds by Savalos. And Savalos able to catch up to him, put it out, but we should have our substitutions come in at this point. And both teams will make some substitutions. For CSI, number 25, Omer Abdullah will come in, along with number 13, Chris Lopez. And Javi Castro will also come in. Sosa out, Tassin out, and Salas out. So the Dolphins almost with a complete front line at this point, Mike.
Yeah, line change there for the Dolphins, Dave.
Freshman Keegan Bauer comes in for Arcadia, number 12. Dolphins with a deep throw. Abdullah gets his first touch, but he loses possession to Fiore. And that one once again played out. This time it will be a throw for Arcadia as we have 9 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this first half.
Yeah, Tassin had a couple of opportunities, Dave, for the Dolphins, especially earlier in the game. And, you know, he's one of those players, Dave, the Dolphins would really like to get going in the CUNYAC tournament. He has the ability to put the ball back in the net. And, you know, Dolphins just looking for finishes right now.
And the Dolphins down 2-0, but the three reserves who came out, Mike, Sosa, Salas, and Tassin, all with very good first halves, first 37-plus minutes. Quintero, touch pass over to Morales. Morales plays it back to Rodriguez, who moves from the left to the right side, and that pass errant there on the sidelines, and it will go Arcadia's possession.
Yeah, it looked like Matt Bessler has switched sides too, Dave, for the Dolphins as he goes over to the far side now.
Arcadia with the header over midfield, played by Bauer, who just came into the game, gets his first touch. Arcadia looking to turn towards goal. Abdullahi playing it once again up the field with a lot of space. Here comes Arcadia, top of the box, a dribbling shot handled by Torres.
I think the Dolphin defense blocked that one a little bit, though, but another nice play that time by the Knights to break in the box.
Not sure who had the shot. It looked like it might have been in the neighborhood of Sam Hernandez, but it looked like the shot was deflected on goal. As we'll have another substitution getting set to come in for Arcadia. And here's the shot that we just mentioned, Mike, again, right from the lip of the box. And, yeah, definitely off the defense there as that one lost some steam going in and Torres able to make the play. Torres with a couple of saves for the Dolphins, but 2 goals yielded. Dolphins down 2-0. Foul. A throw in, and this will be a substitution here. Arcadia, number 25, Colin Lankow. And, Mike, I haven't been counting the substitutions, but we might have almost a completely new team for Arcadia out there.
Then, you know, you have to be impressed with the way the Knights have played, and they've put all these substitutes on the field, but still doing a nice job playing as a cohesive unit and, you know, keeping those legs fresh here as the Dolphins begin to substitute as well, looking to get themselves back in the game with just under 6:45 remaining here in this first half.
Arcadia reverses field now, right to left. Abdullahi making one move and now 2 towards the middle of the field. Miguel Morales is there, however. He gives it over to Balella. Balella's pass attempt was interrupted with. Ball came over to the midfield stripe, won by Arcadia. They continue to control. They lead 2-0. Goals by Foreman and Abdullahi. Bodies falling, but Arcadia continues to possess here. And with 6 minutes, the CSI defense looking to scramble out. Morales now controls, looking to work sideline to Abdullah. Dolphins have had some success on this side of the field, but Abdullah sees it go out of play. Last touch by him off the defense. A lot of runs on that side by Salas and Tassin. Now Dolphins looking to double that with Abdullah on that side. As we have just under 6 minutes to go in the first half. Arcadia up 2-0. Arcadia 8-4-2 coming in. The Dolphins have played 2 more games. They're 9-5-2. But the story of the season for the Dolphins, they started the season 8-1, but have since gone 1-4-2 in their last 7. So the Dolphins, getting ready for postseason play, would like to go out on a high note, but they have not scored, Mike, coming into this game in 370-plus minutes. You can add another 40 in this game, so desperately seeking a goal.
Yeah, really are, Dave. It's been October 4th since the Dolphins last scored.
Played back over to Fiore. Fiore, though, losing a little bit of control, but last touch by the defense. Castro had a foot on it here. Reset on the throw. It'll be Fiore with under 5 minutes to play. A lot of contact moving in the box. Dolphins sky it up in the air. O'Connor got a quick foot on it. Looking to catch up to it was Hernandez. Hernandez working one-on-one against Abdella. And Hernandez able to get a throw-in out of it.
Yeah, Abdella chased him all the way across the field, but the Dolphins knock it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Knights now.
Arcadia now taking their time getting position and players set up. They still work it on the sideline to Abdullahi. Abdullahi getting away from one defender. Again scrambling, getting away from 2. Now sending one through the middle, and that one is put over everything by Colin Marino. So a nice job by Abdullahi, who we've seen play the ball on his feet almost exclusively, getting by 2 defenders, teeing up a good shot for Marino, but Marino sending it well high.
Yeah, the 5'5" freshman, Dave, has been a force since he's entered the field and really been a lot of fun to watch as he's been very creative and running through the box and really causing all kinds of havoc for the Dolphin defense. I'm sure they're not enjoying chasing him around, but he has been very entertaining here in the first half.
So Dolphins now playing it on the plus side, but once again, Arcadia skying it right out. And here are some Arcadia attackers bearing down on the ball. It's headed down by Abdullahi. He got to it first, but Torres was in good position to knock it down and corral it. Nice job by the Arcadia attack.
Yeah, he split 2 defenders that time, Dave, and headed it on goal. Nearly got his second goal in just a couple of minutes. Nice play by Torres to prevent goal number 3.
And it's pretty obvious to see what Arcadia is doing, allowing the Dolphins to kind of come up, but then quickly skying the ball over to their side of the field and hoping to make a run, and that's exactly what they almost accomplished on that last run up the field. A lot of jerseys there on the far side. You can see the crowd collected on the far side of the field. It's been a good one here on this beautiful October afternoon. We're in our short sleeves. We're not used to this, Mike.
Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful, Dave. You know, it got cold for about a week or so, but other than that, it's been, probably the best weather of soccer I can remember.
There's that skied up ball that Arcadia. You can see the CSI defense kind of standing around a little bit, Mike. And, John Tardy, when he looks at this tape tomorrow or the next day, is going to, call out some of his defenders for, being a little bit too stationary there on that back line.
Yeah, Dave, what's happening is they're kind of finding themselves watching the ball and standing there instead of aggressively seeking out a play to mark, and it's cost the Dolphins here this afternoon.
And with fresh legs, Arcadia once again moves down the field, and CSI no choice but to play it out of play, and looks like it will be, I don't know if that ball went out first and it's going to be a corner. But no, it looks like it'll be a throw-in instead. So Dolphins able to get that ball before it came out.
And that was a nice play by Uguiles because, once again, it was Abdullahi hanging out around the far post. And if Edward didn't make that play, he was waiting right there to put that ball towards goal.
So we are just over a minute to play here in the first half. 2-0 is our score. Arcadia on top as Colin White able to come out of his goal mouth and play that one. White, haven't mentioned his name in quite a while. He was active in the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of this one.
Yeah, he was active, Dave, and he was really good when he had to be, keeping the Dolphins off of the scoreboard. But you're right, Arcadia's done a great job picking up defensively.
And here's Abdullahi, who puts one across the goal. Too strong. He was looking in the direction of number 15, Colin Marino. Dolphins will get a goal kick out of this, Mike, but with 45 seconds left, we'll see if we can establish maybe one more run up the field. But the Dolphins haven't had a legitimate offensive chance in quite a while now.
Yeah, Arcadia, as we mentioned, Dave, really has done a nice job quietly shutting down that Dolphin attack. And you're right, kind of luring the Dolphins into the midfield of the offensive zone and then striking back against them quickly.
And there it is again, that long ball all the way up the field. And there with a 50-50 chance. And coming down near the play was Abdullahi again in that neighborhood. Keegan Bauer was also giving chase.
Yeah, Bauer, another freshman, Dave. So a lot of impressive talent on this night team.
The Dolphins with a big through ball through the middle. See that one interrupted. And we are through the first 45 of this one. Arcadia 2 and the Dolphins nothing. A couple of goals. One of them early, Mike. The other one an insurance one midway through. The Dolphins find themselves on the opposite end of a 2-0 game. And, Mike, they'll have some work to do in the second half.
Yeah, Dave, it's the same old story for the Dolphins here, that we've been talking about for the last 3.5 games. And that is, you can't score, you can't win. They've played a very strong game here this afternoon, a very entertaining game, but, Arcadia's been able to break through against some Dolphin defense that has found themselves running around in their defensive zone a little bit and not really manning up in the penalty area, giving Arcadia a lot of space. But, a lot of that credit has got to go to Arcadia, Dave. They have size, they have speed, they're very creative, and, those balls that are getting lobbed and chipped over the top and things like that, they're not landing on Arcadia's feet by accident. These are plays that have been set up and practiced, and, they've looked really, really good here in this first half.
All right, well, they've put 10 minutes on the clock for a halftime break. What Mike and I will do is step aside. When we come back, we will break down halftime statistics and get you ready for the second half here live from the CSI Soccer Complex. We're at halftime. It's Arcadia 2 and Staten Island nothing. Stay with us. You're watching CSI Men's Soccer right here on CSI's exclusive channel for everything athletics, CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
You make me wear my bike helmet. Taught me never to run with scissors. And to follow the swimming rules.
You tell me to stay away from drugs.
To always buckle my seatbelt.
So why do you keep a loaded gun in your drawer?
How safe is that?
You asked them to follow some safety rules. Now they're asking you. In fact, they're counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
Na 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 na, I love you so. I love you, la la
We're here.
It's a short drive from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
A full life, measured in seats, starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Oh! Checking your fantasy league?
Nah, just my 401k statement.
Nice. Where'd you find the money for that?
I just been saving a little every month.
I can't seem to save anything.
Well, what about all this? What about the money you're spending?
What money? It's gone before I can get my hands on it.
I got a pizza for a Todd.
Hey, can somebody spot me?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind.
It's 547.
Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Welcome back here to the CSI Soccer Complex here, the campus of the College of Staten Island. It's senior day at the College of Staten Island, but the Dolphins find themselves on the opposite end of a 2-0 score against Arcadia here at home. And, you know, Mike, it's a day where the Dolphins honor their seniors, but a lot of freshmen have really been making their appearances, especially in goal with Oscar Torres. He made a couple of saves, but Arcadia got the best of him with 2 goals, and they got the best of the CSI defense. CSI offense looked good the first 15, 20 minutes, but they've trailed off since, and the Dolphins are down 2-0.
Yeah, you know, Arcadia's come out and really played a great road game here this afternoon. They got it started in the 6th minute as, you know, Bradley McKim was able to take the ball inside, Dave, and, you know, really there must have been 4 or 5 Dolphin players that were kind of surrounding him, but not really up on top of him. And standing up near the top of the penalty area was Shade Foreman all alone. He was able to kind of get the ball on his foot, settle it down, and, you know, put it in the back of the net to give him a 1-0 lead. And, you know, Dolphins had a couple opportunities after that, and, you know, it was a back-and-forth game. And then Harun Abdulhali checked into the game for Arcadia, and he picked up his 4th goal of the year on a really nice play, and he's played very effectively. And, you know, really the Arcadia has done a nice job, especially in the latter stages of the second half, doing a lot of creative things offensively. And then, as you mentioned, Dave, kind of tightening down defensively and really choking off those Dolphin chances in the second half of that first half.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arcadia got in a lot of substitutions in that first half. By my count, 9 substitutions. So almost a completely different team at the end of that first half than at the beginning of that first half. The Dolphins used a lot less subs, and they did them a little bit later in the half as well. It doesn't look like the Dolphins are going to give a lot of their upperclassmen time in this game. So it might be on the sophomores and the freshmen to really try to get the Dolphins to claw their way back. I mean, statistically, Mike, they're not out of this thing. They did play well in stretches, but really Arcadia has a pretty good ace in their pocket, and that's their ability now to simply rely on their counterattack. They don't need to really press offensively. The Dolphins do.
Yeah, and the Knights have pulled Ryan Hammer off the field. He played 35 minutes in that first half, so he came to the bench for the last 10. But, he picked up a couple of shots in that first half, including a shot on goal. He looked very well. Duncan O'Connor, a freshman, played very well. And, this Arcadia team has a lot of freshmen and a lot of speed. And, they've been giving the Dolphins fit. And, Dave, if you're head coach John Tardy, you got to be a little concerned defensively at what you saw in that first half. But, again, no goals for the Dolphins, Dave. And, it makes it really tough on everybody when you don't feel you have any margin of error. And, that's been what the Dolphins' story has been really for these last 4 games. They just have not been able to put the ball in the back of the net. And, their last game was 0-0 tie against John Jay. And, Dolphins really looking for goals. 2 of their last 3 games, they've had scoreless ties. So, like we mentioned, they've played well defensively here down the stretch, only giving up 1 goal in their, or I should say, only giving up 2 goals in their last 4 games, but really looking for some answers offensively.
Yeah, as you can see on your screen, they've put a fresh 45 on the clock here for the second half. You take a look at those first half stats, Mike, you could see them, obviously the score being what it is. Arcadia with only 4 more shots than the Dolphins, and the shots on goal are just 4-2 in favor of Arcadia, to give you a sense of that. Obviously, you look at the saves that the Dolphins have made, the corner kicks, the Dolphins have had 3. They've had some free kicks from 25, 30 yards out, so they've gotten some chances that way. The fouls, 5-3, virtually even in that department. It's been a very clean game. It's been a well-played game for both sides, and the Dolphins, they've knocked on the door a couple of times in this game, but early, and they've been shut out ever since, really, from chances as well. So we'll see if the Dolphins can muster up some attack or a little bit more consistency at the front. Arcadia with a chance to kind of roll back and just play on their side of the field, and their offensive chances can be tempered from this point forward. So we'll see what kind of changes we see here from both of these teams in the second half. Of course, it'll start with the players who will be out there on the field to start, and we see Bryant Navarro is out there for the Dolphins. We see Phil Lefkowitz is now in the game for the Dolphins. Mike Arianis is in the game for the Dolphins. Eric Condi is in the game for the Dolphins. Dolphins with Nick Aletto, who's been very seldom used. He's in the starting lineup here in the second half. So the Dolphins, here comes Danny Nika, another one of their seniors who did not play in the first half, who was honored during pregame. He's going to start. So, Mike, the Dolphins with a new look second half.
Yeah, a lot of new players for the Dolphins. It will be Torres going back in goal, but as you mentioned, Dave, Aletto, Nika, Lefkowitz, Navarro, all checking into the game. Boello will come out again, as will Quintero. Eric Condi will make his first appearance, as will Mike Arianis. Miguel Morales back in the back for the Dolphins here. So plays coming out, essentially almost a brand new lineup here for CSI in the second half.
Yeah, 5 new starters in the starting lineup here in the second half as opposed to the first. So we'll see if it can get the Dolphins some offense. The player who'll get the first touch for the Dolphins is their leading scorer, Bryant Navarro. He's got 6 goals this season as a freshman. Did not play in the first half. He'll be the first one to touch the ball here. Late entry onto the field, Joel Morales, who played the full 45 of that first half. The Dolphins will have 45 minutes to get things right. They're down by 2 on the scoreboard. Balella controls. Playing it over to Nika. Nika with his first touches of the afternoon, working on that left side. He's looking to go toe for toe. Plays one in the middle. Looked like getting a piece of it was CSI inside, but a lot of tangled bodies there. But a nice run by Nika here to start things off.
Yeah, and that was Arianis, Dave, that had the opportunity there for the Dolphins.
And now Lefkowitz looking to control for the first time for Arcadia. That one goes out of play. Last touch by Eiley, who started the first half for Arcadia as well. Joel Morales will now run in to take this.
I think it was a handball, Dave.
Yep. Let's take this free kick. surveys the scene, puts one towards the far post. Nika able to catch up to it, backpedaling, retreats with his back towards goal. Still looking for bodies inside. Once again, 50-50 ball inside to Arianes. Couldn't get to it. Arcadia takes over. This is Camacho. Camacho with a spirited run, looking sideline to McKim. McKim tangling up with Aledo. And that ball will go out of play, and it will be a goal kick for the Dolphins. Last touch by McKim.
Yeah, Dolphins getting off to a nice, strong start offensively here, Dave, in the first 80 seconds or so in this second half. But then the Knights come right back with a counterattack of their own, and it'll be Torres now with the free kick.
And McKim got tied up with Aledo. Aledo making only his 8th appearance of the season. He's now in the right back position. Quintero plays it straight up the center of the pitch. Bryant Navarro chasing down, headed back towards goal. Colin White continues to goal keep here for Arcadia. And he was given that backwards pass by Devin Rosser, who comes out for his second half start. Arcadia controlling. Back towards goal, it is Foreman, the first goal scorer in the game. Arcadia resets. This is Foreman controlling. His back towards goal, plays it once again in the midfield to Eiley. Eiley backpedaling at first, fronts it over to Foreman. Foreman back down deep to Reyes. Reyes looking sideline to White. White interrupted by Aledo, and now Morales. Morales gets it back, was looking for Bryant, too strong for him, and having to retreat is Eiley. Eiley working against Arianes. Feet get tangled, and Arianes puts down Eiley, and Eiley gets the benefits of the call that time.
Yeah, I think benefits of the call is a good expression there, Dave. I thought Eiley might have kind of stumbled over his own feet a little bit on that play, but the Dolphins get called for the foul. Free kick here for the Knights.
Spotting it up was Reyes, and Reyes sending it all the way down the field. He was looking in the direction of McKim. Too strong, though, and Torres is able to converge on it. As we mentioned with Torres for the Dolphins, a freshman from Susan Wagner High School. This is only his second start of the season. Made 3 saves in that first half. Season. This is Nika now, left side. Looking to play it in. Phil left drive. That was to Nika. Nika control of it. Number 22, but it goes past the goal line. This will be a corner kick for the Dolphins, their 4th of the game.
Yeah, Lefkowitz, one of the offensive players for the Dolphins in their last game. The Bloodhounds put 5 shots in net, but was unable to score.
Spotting it up, and now placed. Good placement, far post. Arcadia got the first head on it. Balella looks to retreat to it. Lost control of it to White, and White dumps it out of play off of Balella. 4 minutes into the second half, Arcadia 2-0. They led that way at half.
Yeah, nice play by White against a very good offensive player in Boella. Leads to the throw-in for the Knights.
Arcadia elects to go up the sideline. McKim got spilled down, but he was able to play it backwards to Camacho. Camacho working against Arianes. Gets it over to White. White with a 360 move at midfield. Loses possession to Condi. Condi continues to run up the pitch to lend himself to the offense as Nika controls. Nika was playing one-on-one against Rosser. Arcadia with numbers. Is able to gain control here via the goal kick.
Should mention, Dave, the women probably just getting underway against the Bloodhounds at Randall's Island. The winner of today's game, Dave, the 2017 regular season CUNYAC Women's Soccer Champions.
Yep, and first and second place is up for grabs. Third and fourth place is up for grabs. Lehman with a 3-0 lead at halftime over Brooklyn. Lehman with a win would clinch the number 3 seed. And, of course, the loser of CSI John Jay would play Lehman in the semifinals. More on that in a moment. This is McKim on the right side. He's locked up with Quintero, and Quintero wins that battle. This will be a goal kick. But, yeah, Mike, you mentioned the CSI women. They kick off at 1 p.m. at Randall's Island against John Jay College. Both of those teams 4-0-1 this season. Now, the Dolphins do own the tiebreaker, so a win or a tie by the Dolphins, and they are the CUNY regular season champs. They'll get the number 1 seed. The big difference between the women's tournament and the men's tournament, Mike, is only 4 teams make the women's tournament, 6 teams make the men. So that number 1 seed will have a home semifinal game afforded to them.
Yeah, and, we should also mention, Dave, that the other two teams that'll be playing in the tournament, both pretty good soccer teams, but, you got to feel that the women's team is the two-time defending champions, really going in as a favorite.
Here's a run that time for Arcadia. It was very early this season, John. But, of course, what helps CSI is no matter who they play in that semifinal will be right home.
Yeah, and, the question with both Lehman and CCNY is that, a little thin in numbers, Dave.
CSI men are the number 5 seed. They're locked up in their conference tournament. They will play Baruch College at Randall's Island next week on Wednesday at 6 p.m. as Arcadia.
It was a tough one-goal loss for the Dolphins. And, that's what the Dolphins have been struggling with all season long, as we mentioned earlier.
Have only given up more than 2 goals twice. Loses control to Camacho. And now here comes Arcadia the other way. Coming down the right side of the field, here is Arcadia now with some space. Coming in, this is Hammer looking to shed 2 defenders. Ariana sees that one go out, but it will be a corner kick for Arcadia, only their second one of the game. Abdullahi has returned now for Arcadia. He's the first sub of this second half. You see him entering your screen. He will come in for White.
And that was a nice play by Hammer, Dave. He's been kept off the scoreboard here so far, but he gets the corner kick for the Knights, and he's going to take it.
Spots it up from the far side. The whistle has blown. We are back and play a line drive that is kicked out by Quintero. Dolphins still fighting for position. It is Lefkowitz working against the defense, but Arcadia wins it back. They send it up over Aledo, the defensive line of the Dolphins, but seeing it go all the way out was number 11, Shade Foreman, one of our goal scorers, and the Dolphins will have themselves a goal kick.
Yeah, so the Dolphins get a goal kick out of it, Dave, and once again, the Knights looking dangerous. They had 3 players against 1 down on that near sideline, but the ball went out of bounds.
And again, it all developed from that turnover as here we go, springing in and getting to the loose ball was Phil Lefkowitz. And the Dolphins, after 430 minutes of scoreless soccer, have registered with a goal on the counter off the goal kick, 2-1. The Dolphins cut the Arcadia lead in half.
Yeah, that was a beautiful goal by Lefkowitz, and Phil has been one of the better players for the Dolphins as of late, Dave. He didn't play in the first half, but, he's come out here in the second half, and in 11 minutes, he's really been all over the field, both offensively and defensively. That was a beautiful through ball, and this time it was the Dolphins with the beautiful offensive play, and Lefkowitz making no mistakes, Dave, to break a scoreless streak, I should say, that's gone nearly 4 games.
Yeah, terrific and well-timed goal for the Dolphins. They needed it. They needed some kind of spark here and some kind of, some kind of positive momentum. Lefkowitz is 3rd of the year. And Eric Condi, who also only started here in the second half, Mike, gets the assist. You could see the pass again was a beautiful one. It kind of split 2 defenders onto the waiting foot, and White got a little bit of a late break on it too, Mike. So that's the other thing that really benefited the Dolphins on that play. But Dolphins needed one, and they got one. So a nice job. And now we have a game again, Mike, 2-1.
Yeah, and Dave, this Dolphin team just has too much talent offensively to continue to be shut out. And you got to hope, if you're a Dolphin fan, that Lefkowitz breaking through for the Dolphins will kind of open the floodgates up a little bit.
So 2-1, Dolphins have worked their way back. The shots on goal are 4-3 in favor of Arcadia. But it's been a pretty even game as far as possession is concerned. You may be able to say that Arcadia's had the better of the quality chances, as that time playing with it deep in his own zone and electing to see it go out of play was Brian Reyes, but Arianes was there. Should have a substitution come in here at this point, as number 5, Kyle Savalos, will come in. to replace number 32, Manny Camacho.
And that was a pretty dangerous play that time by Reyes, as Arianas tried to cut inside on him and just really missed by a half step or so, Dave. And, Reyes really had an opportunity to cut that ball out of the center of the field, chose not to do it. The ball fortunately goes out of bounds for the Knights, so they get a free kick.
You were able to see moments ago on your screen, 32 minutes remaining in this game. Still plenty of time here in this one-goal game. It's been a good one. If you've been with us since the start, it's been very evenly matched. There's been a lot of action both ways. Both teams making significant amount of plays. Now here comes Bryant Navarro making a run. Arcadia scrambling to get it out. And it will be out of play, last touched by the by the Knights. Dolphins will have the throw. Balella electing to go sideline in the direction of Lefkowitz, and he's able to win that ball off the Arcadia defense.
Yeah, he continues to put good pressure on that Knight defense. Knights take the throw in.
Big time throwing right in the center of the box, and that one's chipped forward. Looked like Balella was the one to get a toe on it. Didn't get a lot of power on it, but White in good position makes the play.
Yeah, that was a huge goal-scoring opportunity, Dave, as Boella doesn't get all of it, but here they come again.
Yeah, and it all developed from that very long throw-in by Lefkowitz. Dolphins losing possession, however, with a big turnover, and now this is McKim the other way. Here comes Arcadia now with some numbers. 3-on-3 the other way. Nice defensive play by Miguel Morales, the freshman. Phil Lefkowitz with a lot of green in front of him. Mike, there's nobody on Lefkowitz. He threads one through to Arianes, but getting there to disrupt the play was Savalas.
So the Dolphins got their first goal on a through ball through the Knights' defense. They tried again as Lefkowitz with a nice pass earns the Dolphins another corner kick, their fifth of the afternoon.
And that last replay, you saw the shot by Balello off that long throw, and now here's another set-piece opportunity here for the Dolphins. Played in front, a lot of white jerseys converging to the ball, but Arcadia able to dump it out. Nice job by the defense, and here's Condi. And here is Phil Lefkowitz once again with a lot of room. Lefkowitz able to dribble in with a backpedaling defense. Lefkowitz splits one, puts one on, going in! A beautiful effort by Phil Lefkowitz. He was given space, he utilized it, shed a defender, and what a left foot on that shot, Mike.
Yeah, there's no doubt that Philip Lefkowitz has been the best player on the field for the Dolphins here in the second half. He picks up yet another goal, his second in just over 15 minutes. A beautiful play by Lefkowitz and a beautiful shot. And, Lefkowitz, Dave, a player who missed all last year, still wearing the brace on his knee, but has really played well. And, a lot of times you see players coming back from the kind of injury that Lefkowitz had, and they really struggle, especially in that first year. But Lefkowitz has come back strong with a big second goal here and brought the Dolphins back to life as they've tied it at 2 and now have the momentum on their side.
And what a left-footed shot by Lefkowitz. And he was left open with space, was able to get by a defender and score it. His second of the game, his fourth of the year, Mike. And he was given some space, and he made the most of it. And that's what CSI attackers need to do. That's what we know they can do. With space, make plays. And now here comes Arcadia the other way. Nice defensive play made by Aledo to disrupt that one. O'Connor gives one back up to McKim, but McKim, that one hopped up on him, hit him in the forearm. Oh, and here's Dolphins with a quick reset. Almost lost it. Arianes to Aledo. Aledo electing to go middle of the field in the direction of Nika, disrupted by the defense, and CSI able to get to the ball near midfield. Now Morales skips away from him. And this is where Arcadia, Mike, has given the Dolphins some room in the midfield. And here's Arianes. Arianes with no one marking him. Now late getting there was Reyes, and it's punched in to White, who makes the play easy.
Yeah, that time Mike just let the ball get a little bit too far ahead of him, Dave, because he was in good attacking position working against Reyes and had a little bit of room, but just played the ball forward a little too much.
Both teams given a lot of space sometimes in the midfield. That's led to good results in the other end. Here as we have number 33, Sam Hernandez controlling. He tries to thread one through the defense. Abdullahi was there, but not before Torres, who disrupts the play. So the Dolphins, who had not scored in over 420 minutes, with 2 here by Phil Lefkowitz in the second half to tie things up at 2 apiece. Here's Danny Nika. Nika making a run, going left to right, threads one through the middle, too strong as he was looking for Lefkowitz again. You could take your pick whether that was a pass or a shot. Either way, it was on goal, and Colin White made the play. 6 shots on goal now for the Dolphins, 4 for Arcadia. Quintero plays it left side of the field to Nika. Nika was looking to give and go with Navarro, who's been quiet here in the second half. Balela, pass was intercepted that time by Savalos, who came in as a reserve. Savalos working one-on-one against Morales, sees it skip off of his shin and out of bounds. It's a Leto looking for Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz with a nice initial move, getting past Hernandez. They give over to Morales, and now Condi. Condi continuing to switch it towards the far side of the field to Nika. Nika again, given space, able to possess, and now puts one, looking to get over top of the defense, too strong. And seeing it go out of bounds was the Arcadia defense. 26.5. As we have another replay here. And that left side, this was that play by Nika, the threading ball that he looked to get through the defense, and that one's on goal. Did count it as a shot, and deservedly so. It was a weak one, but White made the play. Lefkowitz winning the 50-50 ball at midfield. Arcadia's defense is there. And here comes Arcadia now with some numbers. 4-on-4 down the other way. This is Hernandez looking to thread one in to Abdullahi. He puts one on goal and in. However, the offside flag was up, Mike. The offside flag was up. It negates the goal. And the Dolphins catch a break that time. It did look like Abdullahi was off, Mike, but still a very nice through ball in the middle of that defense.
Yeah, it was a beautiful through ball, and, you know, he was offsides, but it wasn't by much. But the Dolphins catch a little bit of a break on the play, but, you know, that should serve to remind him that when number 4 is out on the field, Dave, you got to keep a player on him, and he's very fast as well.
He was the primary playmaker, especially in the second half of the first half, and he's making plays again here in this one. So a goal disallowed by Arcadia due to the offside, so we remain deadlocked at 2. Abdullahi again controlling, but loses control, but Arcadia able to get it back with Reyes. Reyes playing with Hernandez. Hernandez left-footed pass intended for Abdullahi, and now we have a spillage of Hernandez, helped up by Morales, and Arcadia from about 25 yards away and to the extreme left will have themselves a free kick. As you see the replay, Mike, on that last play, you could see Abdullahi was a little bit ahead of the play. Goal disallowed, but a good rush up the field once again by Abdullahi. This will be Hernandez to take the free. Dolphins give him his 10 yards, a modest 2-man wall. Hernandez bending it, far post, and it looked like getting ahead on it was Abdullahi again, but it skips off the top of his head and out of play.
Yeah, Dolphins very fortunate he's only 5'5" tall, Dave, because he got himself in prime position, and you know he's the kind of player that just seems to always find himself in open spaces, just seems to find himself where the ball is. A very dangerous player, and that header went wide. Free kick for the Dolphins.
Yeah, Haroon, as Mike mentioned, only a freshman, 5'5", 126 pounds. So he's a small kid, but, man, can he make some plays. And this time he threads one up the middle of the field, and now he almost sprung loose away from Aledo. This is O'Connor now. O'Connor can't get past Morales. Morales making a good defensive play. Tried to thread one through the middle of the infield, could not do so. Catching up to it was Kuchnicki. And it will be Arcadia's ball. Substitution can make his way into the game as number 9, Ryan Hammer. You take another look at the free kick here, Mike, via the replay. And you can see Abdullahi just getting the top of his head on it, but out of play. Couldn't really direct the shot.
Yeah, you know, again, the pass just a smidge too high, but, you know, he presented himself in a dangerous position, and now Ryan Hammer, their leading scorer, is going to come back in and replace number 7, Alexander Kunicki. So the leading scorer for the Knights back on the field, and should be a real fun 23 minutes here, Dave.
Yeah, it's been a well-played team for both good, well-paid game for both teams. That one sent well over everybody. Another sub can come into the game for Arcadia. And, Mike, we saw this in the first half, and now with the benefits of having the ability to re-enter in the second half, you'll probably see it even more. Georges Fiore will come in, replacing O'Connor for Arcadia. But Arcadia did not waste any time making subs in that first half, and here they go again in the second. That one out of play by Bilella. Arcadia has control. This is Reyes, long throw-in, interrupted by Miguel Morales. Straight up top, Reyes getting the header on it. Dolphins again in the midfield, able to win some balls. This is Arianes. Back to Bilella. Bilella to Morales. His back towards goal is able to now double to his right side. Gets a threading ball over to Arianes. Arianes now looking middle of the field. Loose ball. Nika looked to get on top of it. Does. Puts one on goal, and it's punched away from his body by White, and White able to recollect. But a nice job by Nika to be patient on that play, Mike. Tee up a shot. He was looking corner, and White makes the play.
Yeah, you know, he had the choice to go near or far post, and he held the ball and went toward the near post. Nice play that time in goal by White.
Off the quick reset, here comes Arcadia. Now looking to make a run near the goal line, and now we're going to have a foul whistled against the Dolphins. Dolphins do not like it, but it will be a free kick.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a tough call against the Dolphins, but they got to get back and play it because this is a big opportunity here. Kind of a short corner for the Knights.
There's nobody in front of Hammer now, as now Condi is trying to come on, but there's no wall going on there for the Dolphins. Now they finally get a body. It's Condi in front of the ball. Otherwise, it was going to be an open look. 5 black jerseys in the goal box here for Arcadia. Condi with the one-man wall. Golden opportunity. You could see the amount of traffic going on in front of goal from both of these teams. That one skied in. McKim was in the neighborhood, couldn't get there. Hernandez shanks on the shot. Dolphins are able to kick it back out. Hernandez battling with Navarro. One, and now sent all the way up the middle of the field. Reyes is there to interrupt, but here comes some white jerseys. Navarro was looking to receive the pass from Lefkowitz, too strong. Morales fans, but is able to retreat and get it back. Quintero now. Quintero dribbling up, getting it over to Nika. Nika looking to play give and go with Lefkowitz. Nika now looking middle of the field to Navarro. The pass over to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz is interrupted, and that will probably be a talking to or a card against Arcadia, as getting very late in on the tackle was Fiore. Ball was already past both Fiore and Lefkowitz. That should have been a card, Mike.
Well, you know, I thought that he thought Lefkowitz was going to kind of make a playthrough on the ball and kind of got himself up in the air. And then when Lefkowitz kind of pulled it down and, you know, went to make his move, that's when they collided. And I think that's how he escaped getting the yellow card, Dave.
So 40 yards away from goal, here's Joe Morales, dead red. He puts it into the box, bounced around. White is going to get to it. He was interfered with it either way. So with under 20 minutes to go in regulation, a 2-2 tie. White makes the play. Here's a replay off of an earlier CSI chance. As you can see on the quick reset by Arianes over to Nika. This is the play where Nika was very patient with it and was able to put one near post. But again, White with good position, able to make the play.
Yeah, White's played very well here for the Knights. You really couldn't fault him on either one of those goals. I think both goalies have played very well here, Dave, this afternoon.
Absolutely here, as the Dolphins will have a throw, and it will be Condi on the far side of the field. Dolphins have gotten some good chances off of throw-ins here this afternoon. That one sees the ball go Arcadia's direction. Like Savalos was able to get to it. And here they come down the other way. 2 against 3. Abdullahi might be in an offside position, and now they do wave it off for offsides. The Dolphins will have themselves a reset via the free kick here with 18.5 to go.
Yeah, so the Dolphins with a free kick opportunity, Dave, is both teams kind of pressing forward and, You know, it's been really a very entertaining game, as we've mentioned a couple of times. Both teams going for it here in this non-conference battle. The last game for the Dolphins in this regular season before the CUNYAC Championship. Arcadia will get to play one more, but both teams getting to play free and loose here this afternoon, Dave, knowing that they have an opportunity to play another day. And you really got to be very happy if you're a Dolphin fan with how they've played so far here in the second half.
Dolphins are tied 2-2 here. CSI women are 0-0 with John Jay 20 minutes into that game at Randall's Island. And the game that will determine the CUNY regular season championship. Loose ball in the box here. CSI able to get to it with Arianes. He tees one up, and it's punched right back out. Ball continues to bounce around in 50-50 land. It's won by Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz running to his right. Drops one off to Arianes. Arianes off the defensive front there on the would-be cross. And Arcadia is able to spill towards midfield. Abdullahi trying to shed Arianes. He does. Can he get past Miguel Morales? He cannot. And here comes Balella the other way.
Miguel Morales has had a fabulous defensive game here this afternoon, Dave, for the Dolphins.
It gets back to Arianes. And over to Aledo. Aledo losing it off of a heavy first touch. Quintero able to keep it alive at midfield to Morales. Morales working against Hernandez, able to drop off to Aledo. Aledo looking for help, tries to shed Abdullahi, and it's out off of Abdullahi. Dolphins can reset quickly here. Aledo looked to drop one off to Navarro. Navarro skipped one off of Abdullahi, but now the ball skied straight up in the air. 50-50 ball, won by Arcadia, sent back over to the midfield. Spills past the CSI defense, but Torres is there outside of the 18. Torres from well out of his goal punches one to Arcadia's side of the field. And here comes Arcadia now on the far side. Looking to play it immediately was Hammer, but he was dispossessed. Here come the Dolphins now at midfield, where they've done a lot of damage. This is Nika. Nika looking to play it sideline. Hammer's in that vicinity. He's able to control. Able to survey ahead of him. Tries to get one to Abdullahi. Interrupted by Aledo. This is Hernandez. Hernandez doubling back towards goal. Drops one off to Eiley. Eiley given some space by Morales. Drops off. The give and go to Eiley. He's wide open, puts one in, and I believe Torres got a hand on the first one, and then the rebound goes up high. A beautiful opportunity for Arcadia, and they cannot convert.
Yeah, what a save by Oscar Torres to keep this game tied. It was a beautiful offensive move. You could see the danger building up, Dave, as the Knights were able to break in towards goal, but Torres held his ground, waited to see the shot release, was able to dive and make a save on it. A nice play by the Knights to get a second opportunity on it, but they put it over the top, so the Dolphins escape a big Knights chance and get possession of the ball with the game still tied.
And here's the replay, very patient. You see Eiley in perfect position. What a stop by Torres on the first one as Eiley was looking to go near post, and then, of course, the rebound sent up. But Torres got left on an island there a little bit, Mike, and he came out with a huge play.
Yeah, he's played really great this afternoon for the Dolphins, and with the game on the line, made a big save there for CSI.
So Arcadia has registered 5 shots on goal, so officially 3 saves for Torres. None bigger than that one for either team in this game. And here's Lefkowitz now working from the left side. Able to put a right-footed cross in on or near the goal, and it will be a corner kick, so the Dolphins will be able to put their substitution in, as Alex Sosa will get set to come in.
Dave, the Dolphins with all the momentum here in the second half. The Knights coming and probing back with opportunities of their own, but the Dolphins have had several good opportunities at net since they've tied up this game, as have the Knights, and you just wonder which team's going to break through first.
Yeah, and it will be no, maybe not here. Here's the corner. It's a short one. It bounces in front. Arcadia able to spill out. And Mike Sosa came into the game. He controls now. He came in for Joel Morales, who also has played an outstanding game here in the midfield. Sosa with some big shoes to fill here, as he will give Morales a breather. This is Eiley. And Miguel Morales interferes with that one. He's had a brilliant game. Now they work it left side of the field to Lefkowitz, who's moved from right to left. Lefkowitz shedding one defender, but sees it skip out of play. and out of bounds.
Yeah, Lefkowitz has created a lot of problems for the Knights since he's come into the game with 2 goals here. That time the ball gets knocked out of bounds, so a free kick opportunity here coming up for the Knights as the clock continues to wind down and the Dolphins looking for their second win in their last 8 games.
Dolphins with some hijinks going on their side of the field where Belimpa Rabish tried to get a water bottle over to Oscar Torres, and it exploded all over the field, so no water for Torres, and now there's a bottle cap in the middle of the pitch. In any event, the Dolphins spill out of play here with Condi, and Shade Foreman will have the benefits of the throw. With 12.5 minutes to go, here in regulation time, they will go overtime if it remains tied. This is Hammer now. Hammer skying one up as he lost control of that one. And we'll have some substitutions pour in. Number 18, Bradley McKim, comes back in for Arcadia. And, Mike, we get a look at another senior. Adrian Kosovic will check in the 78th minute of this one for the Dolphins. The Dolphins get some added explosive offensive firepower.
Yeah, so the Dolphins bringing in a fresh pair of legs with Adrian Kosovic, and the Dolphins with a lot of offense on the field now. Dave Boella and Navarro and Lefkowitz and Nika and Kosovic. That's a lot of offensive firepower for the Dolphins in the game at the same time.
Yeah, if you don't think the Dolphins want to end their season with a win, take a look at what they've got on the field. They are going heavy offense here in these final 12 minutes. This is Sosa now. Remember Sosa, an offensive midfielder, checking in for Joel Morales. Lead pass too strong for Navarro. And with 11.5 minutes to go, Arcadia will have a throw. Arcadia with full momentum at halftime. They led 2-0, but CSI has seized it here. 2-2, a couple of goals here in the second half, both by Philip Lefkowitz. And they have 11 minutes to try to complete this one with a W. Arcadia 1 against 3, and getting the hard-earned foul called his way was McKim, who checked into the game and actually was called off. It's a foul the other way for McKim. Navarro drops off to Bolella. Bolella, heavy first touch, dispossessed by Ryan Hammer. Hammer, who's been all over the field, right and left side. Tries to drop one off, too strong. Condi controls, and he plays it plus side of the 50 to Nika. Nika, give and go to Navarro. They're not on the same page. And that one well too strong in the direction of Nika.
And Ryan Hammer, a couple of bad plays his last couple of touches offensively, Dave, but you got to love the fact that you're leading goal scorer, you're leading offensive player, back marking very effectively defensively. And, you know, when your best player is a good two-way player, it really is a message that goes throughout the team.
And here's Arcadia now looking for some advanced offensive time in the zone, and here they come. They've got some space. It is Fiore dumping off for Hammer. Hammer one-on-one against Aledo, and Aledo was fouled. That's a good call, and it'll be a free kick for the Dolphins.
You know, and Aledo, who hasn't played that much this year, Dave, who came into the game at the start of the second half, has also played very strong here in the second half. He had a nice cutout on a corner kick earlier, and, you know, has been around the ball a lot here in the second half, and, you know, even attacking a little bit. So you got to like what you see out of Nick Aledo here this afternoon.
Yeah, Aledo only making his 8th appearance of the season. Mike, we should mention that getting set to come in for the Dolphins, a couple of substitutions. Logan Tassin, Sr., and Vasil Fedorzi, Sr., also getting set for his first action of the day. Bolella goes from right to left. He was looking for Nika. Nika able to shed Rosser initially, but has to double back, collect the ball after it was interfered with, and here comes Arcadia the other way. This is Fiore with Lefkowitz blowing by him. Fiore looked to thread it through the infield, could not, as Morales was able to control. Drops off to Lefkowitz. Lefkowitz continuing possession. Nika back to Lefkowitz. And here's Kosovic, his first touch of the second half. Kosovic, left-footed cross in front, and a great one-handed save as we're going to have a corner here as Nika's header was off the fingertips. Dolphins will get some substitutions here.
Sub.
As Tassin will enter along with Fedorzi. And coming in at the same time for Arcadia's number 32, Manny Camacho. It'll be Balela and Navarro out for the Dolphins. So seniors replacing freshmen, Mike, up front for the Dolphins. And here comes the Dolphins' 7th corner kick of the afternoon. It'll be Lefkowitz to take it. Puts one in, middle of the goal mouth, and getting up top of it was McKim to shed it out. Punched back in, but straight back out by McKim. Condi pushes the ball forward again. This is Nika, who's been very active in the second half. Drops off to Lefkowitz, who scored both goals. He now unleashes a rocket, but that's well high. And with 7.5 remaining here in regulation, Arcadia will get another substitution, and it will be Christian Bruno to check in.
So Lefkowitz continues to be all over the field, Dave. He started that whole Dolphin offensive possession with a beautiful turnover in midfield when it looked like the Knights were going to go on a quick counterattack, and took a corner kick, had another shot on goal, and, good sequence for Lefkowitz once again.
You saw the stat on your screen. The save count now 7 for Colin White, and Arcadia 4 for Torres and CSI. And we talked a lot about Torres in this one, but Colin White with his first action of the season, doing a brilliant job for Arcadia as well. And he had a one-handed Odell Beckham-type save on Danny Nika. It was out of bounds as he stepped out, or he was out when he made the save, but still a nice play. Getting to a loose ball was Hammer. He's able to disrupt that offensive charge. This is Eiley, great job by Sosa to disrupt that one. And now a feeder inside. Goalkeeper is there, but it's spilled out of play by Savalos. And here is that header attempt, Mike, by Danny Nika. A beautifully placed ball by Kosovic and a nice job by White. That ball might have been headed wide anyway, but still a nice job by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, nice-looking offensive play that time by the Dolphins.
Throw in attempted, and that one off the head, almost inadvertent header by Tassin, and it will be out of play. And we'll have our substitutions check in. Hernandez will check in for Arcadia, and a brief rest for Joel Morales. He's back in, and he's replacing Phil Lefkowitz, who gets a huge hand from his coaching staff. Big hugs coming out. Those are 2 big goals for him.
What a huge second half for Phil Lefkowitz, and really took a Dolphin team that had really struggled in scoring goals, hadn't scored goals in, almost 4 games, and 2 big goals to tie this one up here this afternoon.
And that second goal by Lefkowitz could probably have been the best goal that's been scored here all season, at least on this field. We don't get the benefits of seeing a lot of the road goals, but here at home, that was just a thing of beauty to shed 2 defenders and then to put one on his left foot and laser a rocket in their far post. That was an exceptional goal.
Yeah, it certainly was.
Meanwhile, we have just over 5 minutes to play here in regulation, so anything at this point registered would be a pretty big one here, as we got a scoring update from Randall's Island, the CSI women's team, 1-0 over John Jay so far in that first half. So the CSI women's team with a huge first goal.
Yeah, that big first goal for the Dolphins as they look to come in first place. But, the nice looking thing about this women's tournament looks to be very competitive, Dave. All 4 teams should make for a great women's tournament.
And here's Arcadia with some extended possession now in CSI's area of the field. Quintero able to get to a loose ball that time, but Arcadia still continues to control. Fedorzi backing up. Opposite field, a great one-touch pass. This is McKim inside. He dribbles one in off the bar and in. And what a turn of events with 4:25 to go. Arcadia has taken a 3-2 lead, and what a one-touch pass from Ryan Hammer, Mike. That made the play.
Sorry, Dave. Yeah, that was just an absolutely beautiful play, and it was also a beautiful touch by McKim, too. He played it very calm, a lot of poise, and just tapped it inside the post, as you mentioned, Dave, off the post. A beautiful goal to give Arcadia a 3-2 lead, so Dolphins have 4 minutes and 20 seconds to try to equalize.
So it is 3-2 Arcadia. 4:10 remaining now, and the Dolphins need offense, and they need it in a rush here. So we got the good news that the CSI women's team went up 1-0, but the men's team here has now trailing by 1 after coming back and tying this game and gaining momentum. Now they'll need to pull one out of their hat here, Mike, in the final minutes.
Yeah, so a big assist that time on the play by Hammer, his 7th of the year, gives the Knights a 3-2 lead.
Yeah, and we'll get the replay of that one soon as we have another. Oh, and it looked like I could have sworn that was touched by Torres on the hand, but it went off of his hip. Meanwhile, the Dolphins looking to spring up the field, but Arcadia now throwing numbers back, and deservedly so here. They only have 3.5 to kill. Take a well-earned victory here. This is Camacho, interfered with by Quintero. Condi looking to play it back to Torres. Man bearing down on him. Torres just has to do well to spill it out. Hammer was in the vicinity, and now O'Connor with a good first touch. Getting it opposite field to Hernandez. O'Connor playing it back. Logan Tassin with a quick one-touch, was looking to reverse field, couldn't do it. Eiley now controls. He's been given some space, sheds one defender. Quintero got a brief touch on it, and look at McKim, wide open up top. McKim, left-handed shot, a great save by Torres.
Boy, Torres keeping the Dolphins in the game with just a beautiful save on another beautiful move by McKim.
2.5 minutes to go here. Arcadia almost doubled up on the Dolphins here. CSI down by 1. Ball is out of play. Should have substitutions dropping in here. Keegan Bauer will return for Arcadia, and Joe Balella. Here is the goal, Mike, the replay of it. As you can see, the Dolphins scrambling to try to get the ball out, but look at that first touch by Hammer. I mean, that was a thing of beauty. And then, of course, putting it in. That gives the Arcadia the 3-2 lead, and that was a huge goal here. 2 minutes to play. The Dolphins, again, having to scramble to kick that one out, but was off of Arcadia. Dolphins maybe time for 1 or 2 more rushes up the field.
Yeah, and a big defensive mistake that time by the Dolphins. They playing it out from the far side of the field right into the middle on top of the penalty area. Arcadia with the turnover and the one touch. And just like that, they take the 3-2 lead.
Oh, but that's a big foul that's been earned by the Dolphins, and this will be a big free kick opportunity. Kosovic earned it. We have 1:30 remaining. Kosovic will ask for his 10 yards, and then we'll have to spot this up quickly. And, Mike, you can see the amount of white jerseys pouring into that box.
Yeah, well, 3-2 or 4-2, Dave, really doesn't matter that much. You certainly want to get yourselves an opportunity here, and Dolphins have let a good 20 seconds run off the clock, so big opportunity.
Oh, and that's a really long free kick by Kosovic. He's got to do better with that one. That's a huge opportunity wasted. And with 1 minute remaining, Arcadia needs to. Here's a replay of that last play and that huge save by Torres. Establishing position, keeping this game a 1-goal game, but there's only 40 seconds left here in this one. The Dolphins maybe with one more chance before this one's in the books. This is Hernandez. Hernandez with a run now with 30 seconds to go. CSI has possession. Here they come up the field. This is Nika with 20 seconds to go. It's Sosa. Sosa needs to make a run. Tries to throw it up top of the defense. No one home. Kosovic has to go back to positioning, and that one is spilled all the way out with 10 seconds. 8, 7, and 1 last chance. A big-time throw in the box. Nothing doing there. Top. Balella gets a weak attempt at it, but this one is in the books. The Dolphins put up a great second half to tie, but in the end, Arcadia takes a 3-2 win.
Yeah, Dave, it was a great game. It was an exciting, entertaining, well-played game by both teams. The Dolphins doing a great job coming back in the second half and tying this game up at 2, but a late mistake defensively in the second half. The Dolphins with an opportunity on the far sideline to clear the ball either down the field or up the sideline. Instead, the Dolphins try to come into the middle of the field. They turn the ball over, and the ball winds up on the foot of Bradley McKim, and he picked up the first assist, and he picked up the last goal, and that was enough as Arcadia escapes with a 3-2 win here this afternoon.
So for the Dolphins, their regular season is done. They finished with a record of 9-6-2. And Mike, the story is that in their final few games of the season, The Dolphins finish 1-5-2, so in their final 8 games, only 1 victory. Now, they got through a big hurdle. They came into this game scoreless in 3 straight games, 370 minutes of soccer without a goal. They were shut out the first half of this game. They did respond nicely in the second half with 2, so they got that monkey off their back. But they're going to have to string together 3 victories in the postseason, coming off of a tough stretch here these last couple of weeks.
And you know what, Dave? I think the CSI Dolphin team is in a position where they can get those 3 victories. They're going to have to go in and play Baruch on the road at Randall's Island, and it will be a tough game for the Dolphins. But, it's pretty much of a neutral field there for both teams. And, I know it's been Baruch's home field this year, but it hasn't been traditionally. And, the Dolphins, as we mentioned, they've lost 3 conference games this year, but all 3 of those conference games by a single goal. And all 3 of those games, the Dolphins had opportunities to win. So if you're a CSI Dolphin fan, you look at the second half where they played very well, outscored Arcadia 2-1, and try to build on that momentum as you go into Wednesday night, a big game on the road against Randall's Island. Unfortunately, we won't be able to bring it to you on CSI Sportsnet, but, it should be a nice night and a good night to go see soccer. And, Dolphins are going to try to get back into the CUNYAC championships, Dave. It's been a long time since they've won a men's CUNYAC championship.
Yeah, there's plenty of reason to be excited about the tournament. 6 teams get in, and all 6. There's not much separating number 1 from 6, so it should be exciting soccer no matter what. As Mike mentioned, CSI will kick it off next Wednesday at 6 o'clock against Baruch. Of course, we invite all of our fans to go down to Randall's Island, cheer loud, cheer proud for the Dolphins. Our final score here in this one, 3-2, goals by Foreman, Abdullahi, and McKim for Arcadia. For CSI, both goals scored by Phil Lefkowitz, his 3rd and 4th of the season. The final shot count, 15 even for both teams. Saves 7-5 in favor of Arcadia. Those are your final stats. Mike, our next broadcast on CSI Sportsnet, we will get some time off, but we will be back inside for the hardwood, where the women's volleyball team will celebrate their senior night against Rutgers Newark. They'll honor their 2 seniors, Jessica Cafiero and Vanessa Reyes, in that game. The Dolphins have already won 1 game this afternoon at Sarah Lawrence. They'll play Lehman College a little bit later on this afternoon, so we'll keep our attention there. We'll be on the air on Friday of next week at 6:45 p.m. with a 7 o'clock first serve. So for everyone here at CSI Sportsnet, for our camera operator, Joe Masha, of course, our engineer, Arthur Kapetanekis, for Mike Babuski, I'm David Pizzuto saying good day. Have a great weekend. Once again, your final score here, Arcadia 3 and Staten Island 2. We thank you for joining us here on CSI Sportsnet, CSIDolphins.com. Have a great weekend, everybody.